Hey guys, ZombieX here from HeadFi again. Last video I talked about the AKG K400. This time I'm following it up with its elder brother, the K501. So let me pull that up off the floor here. This is the K501. And before I get talking about it, you guys are probably wondering what's up with this iodide plug on here. Well, the reason that's on there is because when I originally bought it, I emailed AKG for a manual, and they sent me a manual, it was just like a little information on it, and they showed that the cord had 4 wires, so I was originally going to rewire it balanced. So I chopped the end off and found it had 3 wires. So I don't know, they said it had 4 and this one had 3, but I kind of butchered the cord when I didn't need to then. And I didn't want to dismantle it because I didn't know how to open it up. I probably could have just popped it out and just put a fresh cable in there, like the Mogami mini quad mic cable. I probably could have ran that in there, but I didn't do that. And I don't want to because these things are kind of rare anyway, and I don't want to deface it any more than I have. But talking about this, I think this is one of the more desirable AKG headphones out there. Certainly you don't see a lot of K501s pop up. It's very rare. Even on HeadFi you see them once in a while. On eBay you never see them. If you do, they're gone. People will buy them or the bidding will go out of the water. I saw a K501 that's like this, and mine is mint condition. I mean, it's mint. I keep it in really good shape. I saw a mint one go for like 320 bucks. And it came with the box and everything. And I have the box and all the manuals and any paperwork that came in there. I have that actually in the closet back there with all my other gear. But I got this guy for 170 from another Headfire, I think it was 160 or 170. And I think it was a really good purchase. This thing, I would say, is on par with the HD 600. It's not better, but I would say it's in the same league. As with the K400, this requires the same requirement, it has the same amping requirements, which I still think is a good high-powered solid-state amp, something that's able to put a few hundred milliwatts into the 120 ohm load and at least have 10 volts to swing. You could probably get by in 7 volts actually, but just having extra volts is nice on hand. It's nice to have on hand. I stutter all that, huh? But it's similar to the K400, but it's smoother. The treble is more pulled back. It's still very detailed. It's a lot more detailed sounding, I say, in the treble. It's pretty extended, but the treble does seem to roll off as well. Same with the other one. Mid-range too. The mid-range, it's a very full mid-range, just like the K400, but it doesn't have that upper mid-range peak that the K400 had. It's a flatter mid-range, I guess, in that area. So it doesn't have that shouty effect to it. And the mid-range itself has this, it's colored, but it has this really weird coloration to it. I didn't say weird, I don't mean weird like it sounds funny, but I don't know how to describe the coloration, but it makes like vocals and guitar work sound like lifelike to me. It's really good. It's that's one of the few things this headphone does better than any of my other headphones. I think like that live and like real feel is captured really good by this headphone, even over my T1. The T1 doesn't have the same mid-range to it, the quality. Even though the T1's mid-range is superior, it's more detailed, transparent. This one just has that live sound to it that I like. As far as the bass goes, I'd say the K400 has more bass, but this one that one has more bass, but it's less tight. This one has a little less bass, but it's a lot tighter and it's a lot more extended and detailed. Notice this one actually has a little bit more mid bass than the K400 to me. At least to me on this pair. I have it's a version 1, which I think is the bass, it's supposed to be bass heavy. but I wouldn't even call it bass heavy. If that's what it is, it's not bass heavy. It's very light. This one I would say has about like DT880 quantity of bass to me. Maybe a little bit less. It's not as good as the bass on the 880 as well either. This one, the bass does roll off pretty quick as with all AKG headphones. So you don't have like a lot of that really deep bass, but the mid bass on here is more forward than any of the AKGs I've heard, and I like it. Well, actually, I wouldn't say that. The K701 and 702 have I think decent mid bass on there. This one is it's gonna be similar but toned down, I guess. It seems ever since Harman took over AKG, all their products have kind of gone downhill, like the Quincy Jones line in that. I think it's kind of pointless. And to me, I mean, people say that the Quincy Jones ones sound like a lot smoother, but the difference to me isn't that big. It's a little bit smoother treble, maybe a tiny bit more bass and more mid-range, but it's so small. It's not like you're gonna pop them on like this one's cold and analytical, and that one's like, oh, that one's warm. It's not that big of a difference. And I'm going off topic. I do that a lot. So I don't buy into that marketing hype where they say that Quincy Jones gave them the smoothness. I mean, it uses the same driver part. It's just, I think the foam they use in there, maybe in the pads themselves, is different. That's the only thing I can think of for sound difference. Maybe it is tuned differently, but it uses the same driver number. But as for what this works with, this one is just like the HD600, I guess. It works well with a lot of genres, except really bass-heavy ones again. I think it really excels with classical or live music. This one has a really big soundstage. If you like the K701 or K702 soundstage, you're going to love this. I think this one is even bigger. Soundstage is, oh man, I would say maybe bigger than the T1s actually. The imaging is really good too, but because it doesn't have like the angle drivers like a lot of newer higher end headphones have, it still has like the right and left like right there, whereas the T1 sounds like it's more like this. But that's still good. I mean, it has that super stereo effect, but throw in a little crossfeed, and that's really gonna help help the imaging too. I think crossfeed is really good on this headphone. But yeah, I said it's probably the biggest soundstage I've heard. The imaging is pretty good. What else should I talk about? Oh, the fit too. I didn't talk about the fit. The fit actually on this one has the original elastics, but they're still a lot tighter than the K400s. The K400s are pretty worn. It's old. It's beat up. But this one's actually pretty tight. It sits in your head nice. I can sit there and listen to this thing for a few hours and I won't notice it. Like, it's super light. It's not as light as the K601. Or maybe it is just as light. But the K601 doesn't have as much clamp to it. This one has a lot more clamp, which I like. And it could be from the springs can be a little different up here. But I think that's all I'm going to talk about for this. If you guys have questions about this, like more questions, if it's stuff maybe I forgot to cover in the video, you can post a message below. You can message me through here. Contact me on HeadFi. You can go to Facebook and contact me. But yeah, comment, subscribe. If you subscribe, I'm trying to open up to getting more headphones to talk about for you guys. So yeah, thanks for watching. ZombieX out.